Hey fam! Happy New Year! It's 2020. We made it. Oh my gosh. 2019 is over, and I'm sure a lot of us can agree that we are glad it's over, right? However, I don't want us to think that 2019 was a bad thing, right? Because a lot of people have some negative feelings about how 2019 went down for them. And I've been through stuff. I've been through stuff with my partner. He's been through stuff. People around me have been through stuff that I'm just like, man, 2019 was really beating us up, right? But we've got to understand that things like the stressors that we're faced with, even though they seem really overwhelming, they're actually good for us. We need stressors in our lives to actually grow and to make us stronger. So I like viewing 2019 as being the challenge year for us, and it's that time right before we make a major transformation in our life. And so 2019 was a challenge. It sucked, but we have to look at it as a good thing. We have to look at it as it made us stronger. It empowered us. And now 2020, we're just like, all right, that's it. I'm grabbing the reins and I'm getting a hold of stuff, right? So as a reminder, 2020 is the year of the rat. So the year of the rat represents spirit, awareness, flexibility, and vitality. It's going to be a year of conquering your dreams, of overcoming your fears, and setting higher standards for yourself. I think we've done a lot of reflection in the last few months of 2019 to go, I don't like that part of me, or I really want this part of me to come out. And so I think 2020 is that time to let us do that. After reflecting back and looking at what we've been through and how you do want to be and don't want to be. So this is going to be a year of not resolutions, but revolutions of yourself, within yourself, right? So take those self-revolutions and just transform. Now, what is the thing that tends to hold us back from making change and progressing? Excuses. Those darn excuses get in the way all the time. Well, those excuses are not a part of us. We've got to stop using these excuses because they are holding us back from getting things done and holding us back from who we truly are. So it's enough, right? We've got to stop allowing those excuses to take over us and just make the leap, right? So now it's time to ask yourself some very, very deep, hard, important questions. So take this first part of the year to ask yourself these questions. 1, do I love my job? Are you happy in your job? Are you happy where you're at? Do not put a but on that or a however, right? Leave the buts out, because as soon as you start to say but or however, that changes the course and you're relying on an excuse. So stop doing that. Just answer yes or no. Do I love my job? Okay. Next question. Would I rather be doing something else with my life? No ifs, ands, or buts. Do you? Could you picture yourself doing something that you would enjoy more? Okay. 3, am I happy with where I'm living? Physical location. Are you happy? Is the area that you're living in serving you? No ifs, ands, or buts. Is it serving you? 4, have I fallen into complacency anywhere in my life? And this kind of carries over to the past videos that I've done talking about complacency, change, depression. Think about it. If you've fallen into a bit of complacency in anywhere of your life, that can actually be a catalyst to depression. So pay attention to being too comfortable with something, to be on autopilot, to be on routine with something in your life. And is it serving you? No, probably not. Because complacency, when you start to kind of become robotic to a certain situation in your life, It's not healthy. You need to be a little bit more aware of that piece of your life. So take a step back and recognize the complacency in your life and how you need to reshape it into awareness. Next question. If you are with somebody, if you have a partner, are they supportive of your ambitions? Now, don't say that you don't have ambitions. Don't limit yourself. But are they supportive of your ambitions, or would they be supportive of your new ambitions if you were to choose? Does their energy align with yours? It's very important to be in a relationship that is going to balance each other out, support each other, and uplift each other when you need it. So please do not dismiss that because of complacency, just because you love them. You have to start thinking for yourself, and that doesn't necessarily mean being selfish, but it is in a sense, right? You do need to be putting yourself first, to tend to yourself first, your needs and your desires and your dreams and goals, right? So if you don't have somebody in your life to be able to help you with that, it's going to hold you back. So don't let the other person in your life be an excuse. Next question, what do I want to learn? You always need to be thirsty for learning something, whether it be a new language or to do a hobby or to go back to school. What do you want to learn? Again, no excuses. Just what do you want to learn? Next question. What fears do you want to let go of? Everybody has fears. Everybody has fears. And there has to be fears that you want to let go of. So it's possible. It is possible to let go of fears. Next, what shadows of my past tend to interrupt the light of my future? Right? There's got to be something in your past that is going to affect your future if you don't recognize it. So take note of things in your past that might have hindered your way of thinking, of your visions, of your emotions and your feelings about things. And keep that in mind, that your past is your past, and recognize that those things, whether they be negative or not, are, sorry for the motorcycle, I'm not going to cut this because of a bike. They should influence your future in a good way, right? So not hinder your future. And lastly, what are your excuses? So with all those questions that I just asked you, or have you asked yourself, what excuses start to come to mind? I encourage you to write these down so that in the future you can recognize these before they start to attack you and let go of them, because those excuses are the only thing that are going to get in your way. Excuses are the purest form of destruction of who we are. We're always making up excuses for ourselves, right? We're good at that. And excuses are the most destructive parts of our egos. Now, our egos tend to take over a lot, whether it be with knowledge or love or esteem. We tend to let our egos take control. So what we need to do is do an ego cleanse or an ego release. It's ego release time, okay? So we got to take a step back. We've got to extend our peripherals, and we need to start to seek wider and dig deeper and let the whole new you be born. It can be scary. It can be transformational. People are going to be like, who is this new person? But don't worry about other people's, thoughts and opinions about where you want to go and who you want to be. Again, that's another excuse. Well, they're going to say this. They're going to think of me as this. Stop. Who cares? Who cares? Right? It's time to take a leap and make those changes for yourself. Subtle or major. It can be as subtle as just trying to lose a few pounds this year to as major as, again, just changing careers, or changing where you live. It's scary. But, you have to understand that if you fear change, you're fearing risk. But risk is a part of change. I mean, you can't make a change without some sort of risk involved. Right? So don't overthink things. Of course, yes, you kind of need to plan if you're going to go back to school, if you're going to move or break up with your partner, right? But also understand that listening to your inner voice is very important. And I'm talking about the inner voice that's actually honest, right? That first instinctual, heartfelt feeling that you have about a situation, not a thought, not an excuse, because those are all out here, but that deep down feeling like, I know I should do this. I know better, right? Those things are indicating that you need to make a change, right? So it's very important that you take that into consideration. So you need to remember that you're doing things for yourself, right? Of course, if you have kids, if you have a partner, yeah, you're definitely keeping them in consideration, for sure. But if you're not taking care of yourself, how are you able to take care of the people around you? If you're not filling your cup, how are you able to give, right? So keep that in mind. It's okay to be selfish in that manner. Absolutely. So we need to stop just sitting around and allowing your life to just happen, right? That's boring. That doesn't bring change, right? So make sure that you're not on repeat, right? Find a new way to be creative with what you can do for yourself to grow and change and evolve, right? Subtle or major. What feels right to you, despite any excuses that you have? What feels right? What feels good? What makes you happy, right? So let's start to grow, because you are not going to be living your fullest potential if you don't allow yourself to change and grow. People change, people grow. It's important. So don't become stagnant. Break yourself free from, who you were, and be okay with who you want to be. Don't mind others' opinions. Like I said, don't worry about what they're going to say. Don't mind those crazy voices in your head that make those excuses or that you're self-doubting. Don't. You've got to let that go. Trust me, I'm working on that right now. I just committed, and I am saying this, I am committing to going back to school for a doctorate in neuroscience. I'm 40. A lot of people think, what are you doing? And that's totally not you. I know people are thinking that right now. One, I'm a floater. I'm a vagabond. That's who I am. I like change. That's me. I love change. However, this is a huge change. So I can see a lot of people going, you're a holistic practitioner and you want to go into neuroscience? You want to spend, the next 6 to 8 years in school? And it's a major shift. It's a major change. I never thought I would say this. I never thought that I would desire doing something like this and actually committing to it, right? I've loved the brain. I love psychology. I love the different aspects of how the brain works, right? And I was like, this is a perfect avenue for me. I want to study frequency and vibration and also music. Like music is, of course, its own vibration. And so studying the effects of that on the brain it blows my mind. I think it would just be tremendous to be able to embark on something like that. So yeah, it is a huge change, and I can't believe that I'm actually going to be doing this. And I go through waves of doubt. I go through waves of fear. I haven't even gone to the college yet to start talking about working on my associates, right? So, but it's going to happen. I'm going to make it happen for me. And what's great is that I do have a supportive partner who is able to ride the waves with me. And that means more to me than anything, because I understand that there's going to be so many sacrifices in this, on my part, on his part. But we are at a place now where we can do that, where we have the freedom of choosing, hey, I want to do a new career. I want to move. Let's do this. So it feels really empowering to be able to have that support. But again, this is my journey. This is my journey, whether it's with him or not. It's my journey that I'm going to be embarking on, and it is a major one, right? So it's scary. Of course it's scary. My son is going to college this weekend, and he even admitted to me, "Oh my gosh, I'm terrified." And I'm like, "I get it. Like, change is scary." So, but it makes you stronger. It makes you stronger. You learn from it no matter what happens. So that's the important thing to remember. Don't lose sight of your vision. Very important. So keep in mind too that you're going to have those excuses rambling in your brain all the time. All the time, right? They're never going to completely go away. But it's time to work on recognizing that they're just excuses and they're out here, and you can take control of that, right? So you don't want to keep hearing, you can't do this, you're going to fail. What if this happens? What if that happens? You got to let that go. You got to let that go and say, you know what? That's just an excuse. I need to stay focused and on track. So use 2020 vision. Use your third eye for intuition. Use your sixth sense. And offer your 2 cents to this world. I know. See what I did there with numbers? I'm so goofy. But it's time to vibe at a higher frequency now. So you have a higher purpose. You have potential. And you do matter. Please remember that. Don't think that something is impossible, because it is not. There's plenty of people out there that can inspire you on that. So look for that. Look for that inspiration, because it is out there. So you are not your excuses. Remember that. Hold on to that. Make a note. Put it somewhere where you see it every day, that you are not your excuses. Okay? And have positive affirmations to help you make these changes that you need to make, because it's not easy. It's not easy. You kind of need your own little, cheering squad, and you may not have other people around to support you, so you've got to do that for yourself. But you can. There's plenty of people out there that have done it on their own. So you can. So that's important. So you are so much more and can be so much more. It's true. Your potential is endless. So stop waiting. Tomorrow will not change for you. You will change tomorrow. You will make tomorrow different, right? You're in charge. So what you need to do is just wake up from your nap. Time to wake up and get going with your life. Make that change. It's time to live. All right? Make 2020 the best. Love you.